Hello, and welcome to Aden University's live broadcasts. Here we'll meet to share news and trends in the management world aimed at professional and personal development for business professionals. Specialists will share their tips to plan and improve your business strategy in ways that are directly applicable to your reality. Now we'll share the resume of today's guest. We welcome you, and we hope you enjoy the experience. Hello.
Greetings to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. My name is Robert Garcia, and I'm the Executive Director for Aden University. Today we're going to talk about innovative leadership, how to achieve extraordinary results. In our agenda, you will see that we'll talk about the basics of leadership, those basics that leaders have to have in order to be effective within their organizations. Also, we're going to talk about employee motivation, what you as a leader need to do to motivate your employees to excel and truly have extraordinary results. We're going to review some leaders, past as well as present, those leaders today that are doing a great job at running their businesses and truly exemplifying what it is to be a great leader. Also, we want to review those leaders that have passed, those leaders that throughout history have really given us lessons to learn and to emulate. In addition, we want to talk a little about employee engagement, some innovative leadership strategies for you to implement, and how to achieve those extraordinary results. We're also going to have an opportunity for you to ask some questions, so we're going to be receiving some questions and then reviewing them online for everyone to have and hopefully address some of the issues that many of you are having. The first slide we will see that is talking about the basics that we have to have as leaders, the basics of leadership in most companies, particularly large companies, as well as small companies. You have to have inspirational leaders. You have to have leaders that from the CEO to his or her direct reports, all of the senior management team has to create values. And so the company creates these values that are instilled throughout the organization. And this is the basis for how we develop our vision, our mission, and really talk to our employees so that they can be inspired to create and to perform well within the organization. We also have to have everyone be accountable. Leaders are totally accountable for everything that they do. In addition, it's important for that accountability to be translated or transpired to all of the team members of you as a leader. You are held totally accountable for everything that you delegate. However, you want that accountability to also reside within your employees. When we look at competition, we recognize that there is internal as well as external competition, but we need to focus more on external competition. Who are our competitors? Who are these individuals that are competing for our customers, for those individuals that provide us with business? There is some healthy internal competition among business units, among teams, but that needs to be a healthy competition. Campaigns or opportunities to really help each other out, creating a much more collaborative environment, making sure that we can compete effectively among the competitors from outside the organization. Also important is the difference between efficiency and effectiveness. We want to be efficient, but we need to focus on being effective. What can we do better? what can we use so that we can become much more effective at what we're doing? Maybe it's bringing on a software or some technology to assist us. So we want to make sure that we're doing what we can to reveal and create results and improve the performance of all of our team members throughout the organization. We also have to engage and motivate all of our employees, being available as a leader. The servant leadership has been around for many years, and it's that the leader is there when the employee needs them. The team members rely on this leader to inspire and provide vision and direction, obviously giving him or her the opportunity, be empowered to really do what they have to do. The good leaders do not micromanage. The good leaders leave their employees, give them guidelines to do what they can and how they do that, inspire them, and then obviously hold them accountable for the results and the accountability within the organization. As leaders, we also have to have an open door policy. It's important for our team members to feel comfortable in coming to us and really talking about what the issues are, whether it's to solve a problem, whether it's to learn from the leader's experience, or to figure something out. We want to make sure that the leader is available. We cannot lead by staying in our offices. We have to interact with our team members. We have to walk around. Also, as good leaders, we have to have emotional intelligence. We have to read each of our team members. We have to make sure that we understand where they are, what motivates them, what are important elements, what's going on in our team members' life within and outside of the organization. And then we have to look at the organization as a continuum. We want to make sure that we are continuously improving everything that we're doing on a daily basis, making sure that we are getting better at the services we provide, the operations are running smoothly, that we have the best interest not only of our customers, but all of our team members within the organization, and we continuously improve all processes throughout the organization. We see here a couple of leadership theories, McGregor, Theory X, and Theory Y. We see that Theory X managers are probably those in the past, those individuals that feel that employees or team members don't like work, that we need to force or coerce them into compliance. So there are consequences to actions or inactions. They need to be directed. They're motivated by fear. We need to hold money or job security in order for them to be able to exert or perform well. And there's little creativity because everything should be done as the leader demands. Obviously, this is an old way to lead individuals. Today, with the new generations that are coming into the workplace, the expectation is to work for Theory Y managers. In fact, most individuals do not respond well to Theory X management, and they will only do what the Theory X manager requires them to do. So minimum requirements are done, and there is no creativity, there is no accountability, and most team members wait to get directions and be micromanaged. But those are short term because most individuals will probably seek other employment if that continues, or there are obviously reasons for them to stay. But the Theory Y manager knows that we all need to work, that we are interested in doing a good job and working. We can direct ourselves. We have targets or goals, and those goals are met. We work closely together. We thrive. The average team member thrives on responsibility. We're motivated by self-development. We want to contribute to the overall world. We want to contribute to the workplace. And we tend to be highly creative because this environment creates an innovative, creative environment where everyone feels comfortable. Mistakes are accepted, and those mistakes many times are part of being innovative. And we respond positively to them because we know we are continuously improving the processes and trying different ways of doing things. The next motivational theory that I want to talk about is intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. We see in the slide where intrinsic motivation is much deeper and much more rewarding because it's within each and every one of us. It's things like a sense of accomplishment, curiosity, your interest, pride in the work that you do. These are very strong motivators and cause individuals to perform well because it's within your psyche. Extrinsic motivations are nice and we all respond positively to them, but they're not as strong as intrinsic motivations. We have to have both in order to do a good job and continue working for the leader that will inspire us and really manage and lead towards these motivations. So extrinsic motivations we see is money, career. If you're in school, it's grades, praise, doing well on exams. Those are extrinsic motivations. And then the final motivation theory that we want to talk about is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We see how important it is to make sure that we progress through the hierarchy of needs of Maslow. So Maslow says that we have physiological safety, belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. What's important to note about Maslow's hierarchy of needs is that we have to talk to each and every one of our employees to know where we are. For instance, if we don't pay our employees well, if we have a team member that feels that he or she is not being paid well, then it's hard to motivate the individual with other needs. So if that individual isn't paid well, then you have, for instance, a team building activity trying to motivate that belonging need. But until the physiological and safety needs are satisfied, we cannot progress through the hierarchy of need. So it's important to understand where each of your team members is and how can we motivate each, address the issues that need to be addressed so that we can move forward and truly provide the motivation that each employee needs within our organization. Wanted to talk a little about leaders within history or in history, and we have Alexander the Great, who had a lot of foresight and vision, was able to accomplish great things, particularly because of his military capability. So that's probably one of the first leaders that we can identify as truly in his very young age, lived very short life, but did great things based on how well he led his teams and his army of individuals or his followers. We also have the founder of the United States, George Washington, who had tremendous foresight and vision. He also was a master at planning strategically. He led to succeed. Anything that he did had success in mind, and he was able to transcend that strategic thinking to his followers. Also, we have Mahatma Gandhi, one of the great leaders of the world, where his leadership was slightly different than other leaders. His was more resilience, knowledge, people skills, was a great motivator and led by example. We can see through these three leaders, they all had different styles, but they were all successful. We as leaders today have to find our style, but we have to have the basics of leadership always present. And we have to always know what motivates our team members and adapt our leadership style to that. Also wanted to talk about three exceptional leaders today. Jeff Bezos with Amazon. We can see that he has great leadership qualities that include ambition, adventurous, conscientiousness. He's analytical, doesn't get emotional, is persuasive, and in general is a happy person and wants happiness to transcend throughout the organization. We also have Elon Musk, who we can see is ambitious, has or believes in having a divine purpose, doesn't like the status quo, so is always changing, and is fierce about his commitment to his team or his work. We also have Mary Barra, the CEO of General Motors, who believes in collaboration, is decisive, open to a wide range of input. So they're along the lines of being collaborative, and she is also innovative and thrives on innovation, particularly because of the industry that she's in. Jeff Bezos has something that he calls the leadership depth, which is be tyrannical, giving directives, but obviously not being a tyrant. So making sure that the directives are clear and concise and everybody understands them. Be a thinker and a doer. Try a variety or a plethora of many ideas. Making sure that resources are maximized, waste is eliminated, and time is optimized. Seek action only when there is success. So similar to George Washington, he believed in leading to succeeding, asking questions, keeping standards high, and focus on talent acquisition as well as talent development. So we see the great organization that he has created has all of the leadership elements that the leader has instilled in the leaders within that organization. We also have Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, also of SpaceX. They've been able to acquire or accomplish great things. And he believes in being obsessed and obsessive. He loves the brand, whatever the brand is, like if it were a religion. So he is loyal to the brand, transforms the industry by doing the impossible, and certainly there are many examples of that, and ignore those individuals that steal visions and crush dreams. So he is a visionary and a dreamer, and he surrounds himself with people that are able to assist him in accomplishing the goals that he has set out. And he truly is a rare breed in any industry that he is in, because he really believes in changing things up. Mary Barra from General Motors asks for feedback, meets to discuss and not disseminate information. If we as leaders look at all of the meetings that we have, the majority of those meetings are probably to disseminate information, not to discuss. Finding alternatives to disseminating the information that is not meetings would probably be more effective in the workplace. Also, she believes in simplifying messages. In her industry, zero crashes, zero emissions is probably very simple for those individuals to understand. Also wants to affect change. Benefits need to be greater than efforts. Know your business and make sure that we understand. Win hearts and minds. Align on values. And make sure that we lead culture with the behavior that we have to have within our organizations. When we look at employee engagement, we see that we have drivers that provide us with outcomes. These drivers are a variety of ways for us to motivate employees to go beyond the loyalty, but actually have all of our team members being fully engaged with purpose, with the right people and motivation, with workplace balance, with participation, making sure that we reward and recognize good performance, making sure that we provide career opportunities so that the outcomes can be a commitment to the organization, job satisfaction, retention of employees, objectives are being met, we have innovative ways, and ultimately we have satisfied customers within our organization. Also wanted to review the basics of what is going to give us extraordinary results through actionable leadership. Taking bold, calculated risks or steps, not forgetting where we came from and our roots is an important part. What makes our company different and what we created the company for. What are the values and the vision of this organization, and how are we going to obtain that vision, but yet being able to improve continuously. Combine our vision with action to become better at executing as well. Encouraging think tanks to get together and make sure that the next idea we are able to come up with internally. Being laser focused, optimizing productivity and reducing redundancy. Iterate on successful outcomes, so making sure that we celebrate those outcomes, ask questions. Why is a great word to use on a regular basis in everything that we do. Also maintaining integrity in everything that we do, and invest in retaining and attracting the right talent within the organization is an important part of being successful. I leave you today, and the basics of the presentation are some inspiring words from a great leadership guru, Simon Sinek, and he talks about imagining a world in which the vast majority of us wake up inspired, feel safe at work, and return home fulfilled at the end of the day. Regardless of where your job is, if you have that sense of satisfaction, that sense of accomplishment, he believes in discovering your why. Why is it that we do what we do? Why do we wake up in the morning? Why do we go to work? What inspires us about the leader that we work for? How do I, as a leader, inspire my team members to wake up in the morning and come to work and do what we do and do it well? Learn to lead, always making sure that we lead by example, make sure that we are available to our employees and our team members. Transform the culture and work to transform that culture and inspire the people that are working with you on your teams. I hope that you have found this helpful. I hope that you will take many of these examples that we've used today and create your own leadership style. Get to know your team members to make sure that you are focused on developing each and every team member, perhaps differently, but ultimately achieving extraordinary results for you and the organization that you work for. I thank you very much for being here today and listening. I hope to see you locally or on another webinar very soon. We do have some questions that are coming in, and I wanted to address those. The first question that we're getting is, what advice do you have for a leader of a diverse team with people of different ages and generations? That is a very good question. And a leader, as I said, has to adapt his or her leadership style depending on the team member that he or she is talking to. It's important to take a look at the different generations and the requirements of each of those, because the baby boomers have different philosophies, different work ethic, different motivations that may or may not be different than those individuals. For instance, millennials, there's a lot of work that's being done observing and doing research on what millennials are inspired by, what motivates millennials. And now we're very fortunate that we have 4 or 5 different generations working side by side. And as a leader, we need to adapt that style to these different generations and the requirements of each of them. The next question that we're getting is, how can you be a new style of leader when you work in an organization with a rigid hierarchy? That's definitely an interesting question, and many times it's hard for us as leaders to find the right organization. But my recommendation or my suggestion would be to talk to the CEO and the senior management team and try and change the culture. Understand how to work with the team and really talk about achieving extraordinary results by doing things differently, by inspiring and motivating our employees to lead in a way where the average team member is going to respond positively and really be fully engaged in the organization. And if you're not successful, if you can't change the organization, if the hierarchy is so instilled in for instance, the CEO or the senior leadership team within the organization, and you see that it's not changing and you're not achieving extraordinary results, then you have choices. And sometimes you have to leave or find alternatives. My personal philosophy is that life is too short. If things aren't going well, if you are feeling that your leadership style is not recognized or even allowed, then you need to find the organization that will reward you for being a truly inspirational and great leader. The final question that I have here is, what soft skills do you need to optimize in order to be a leader in the future? So there are many soft skills. You have to know the business, so those are the hard skills. But the soft skills sometimes are more important than those hard skills. The ones that I think that you need to optimize to be successful in the future would be things like conflict management, understanding conflict and not avoiding it, becoming good at mediating potential problems. Critical thinking is a great skill that not only leaders but team members need to have. Understanding what is necessary and looking at the basics of the problem and finding alternatives or innovative ways. And communication, emotional intelligence, teamwork, and also flexibility, being flexible. Today's team members are requiring flexibility. It's not where you do your job, it's how you do it and the results that you provide the leader and the organization that you work for. Again, thank you so much for your questions. I have really enjoyed being with you today, and I wish you much success in becoming the great leader that you are. Thank you very much for your time.